Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining once again. We are live from our Paris office. This is another update about the Lynx project. So as usual, I'm going to give this unhinged talk, letting you know where we are, what we're working on, and how it's going. We are going to cut the video after in a few chapters for if you want to see it after. And we'll have a written description that we of the updates that we'll also post on the Kickstarter page. So anyway, thank you for joining. I have a few things to share with you. So I'm Stan Larocque. I'm the leader of the Lynx project, and this is our update for today. So there are a few things we are going to go through together today, and the first chapter is partnership and developers. Then we're going to talk about the ecosystem, then events and production company, and then the Kickstarter orders. So let me resize my video. All right, so there are a few things I'm going to share with you. The first one is the partnership and what we're working on as of today with the ecosystem. So in terms of partnerships, I'm again quite overwhelmed because since we demonstrated the device at it started at AWE in November 2021, it was a great success. People were finally able to see that Lynx was more than just some guy talking on YouTube, right? So now that people are seeing the full potential of the device, we have people coming every day trying to help us build the ecosystem, port their own application on our platform and all that, and that's great. So I want to thank everybody that reached out to us. If you haven't had an answer yet, we are going to give you one. It's just that it takes a lot of time for the team now, and we are completely overworked with what we're doing and the size of the team, and it's changing rapidly, but we still need to figure some stuff out. So I can tell you, so for some of the developers out there, our goal is to be compatible on day one with most of the open platform we can work with. So I think the biggest one that everyone knows is Steam. So Steam VR is a huge target for us. We are going to be compatible with them. We already are in a way, with CloudXR, that on the local machine, you if you want to stream from your computer to the headset, you can absolutely do that today. So we have that working. There's a video of Nati, playing Beat Saber through that pipeline, but we are switching everything to OpenXR in the few next months. So there will be a native client on our headset for Steam VR in the future. So Steam VR, then we're also going to support Snapdragon Spaces from Qualcomm. So if you're not aware, Qualcomm is starting this big revamp of their software ecosystem around their chipsets, and we're using a Qualcomm chip, and Snapdragon Spaces is basically like a software suite of perception algorithm that will allow you to very easily leverage the power of the sensors on the device. So if you want, for example, to detect a 3D object, a real-life 3D objects, and map it and trying to understand the semantics of the scene in front of the user in AR or VR, this is something that is completely that is going to be possible with Snapdragon Spaces. So we are also working with Vuforia from PTC. So this is like more, I think, for professionals now. But Vuforia is a tool that you can Google Vuforia, and many people in the ecosystem knows this software suite. Again, it's basically the same kind of things you can do with Snapdragon Spaces. You can had more perception understanding of the scene. So we are going to be compatible with them. So they came in our office a few weeks ago now, and we are building a driver for them that will be compatible with our pipeline. So either if you're developing in Unity or Unreal, you should be able to leverage these platforms. And again, we are only going to support. I hope we only support OpenXR in the future. It will also depend on the production of the device, because if the hardware comes soon enough, then maybe OpenXR won't be as ready as like the quality we want it to ship. So it will depend. But we are placing a lot of bets on the OpenXR, and this is why we are also working with Ultralip, which is our hand tracking partner. Ultralip has shared with us an OpenXR working implementation on the Qualcomm ecosystem, and we're working with them to integrate that in our own SDK, and it's going very well. And something that is really encouraging is that as of today, one of our software developers was able to integrate mixed reality toolkit from Microsoft HoloLens into Lynx R1 with the Ultralip hand tracking and our pipeline. I have a photo I can share with you right now. So this is one of our developers, Cedric, interacting with mixed reality toolkit, and you can see. So this is, sorry, I didn't have the time today to make a proper video, but this is the demo scene, like the sample scene of mixed reality toolkit. So for those of you who don't know, Mixed Reality Toolkit is the open source SDK that Microsoft produced for, especially for HoloLens, and now it's working with Lynx. It was open source, so we took it from Microsoft, and we are making sure that anyone who developed apps for HoloLens would be able to also make apps for Lynx very easily. So this is a very good demonstration because we mapped the hand tracking correctly, and we can interact with Mixed Reality Toolkit objects in Unity for now, but in the future in all the major 3D engines. So this is really, really encouraging. I'm really thanking the software team for the progress they've been doing in the last few weeks since the last update. Another very encouraging progress we made was the RGB frames. So when you have a RGB, we have RGB color cameras for the mixed reality pass-through, and we can now grab those frames in Unity and send them over WebRTC or use them to do other computer vision stuff. So and we can grab them at full resolution or a quarter resolution without losing too much CPU, because it's already done on the image processing signal of the chip. So it's really, really, it's going to be really great for people that want to share what is someone seeing on Lynx on the tablet or on a computer or a phone, if you want to do shared experience and all that. So I'm really happy with that. So again, the partnerships and the developers, we're trying to be compatible with most of what you guys already know. If you built an app on Oculus or on HoloLens, we are trying to make your job as easy as possible. There are many software engineers at Lynx that want to make your life easy, and I'm the first of them. So we are really putting a lot of effort here. So now for the ecosystem, I told you that we are targeting OpenXR, and we are again working with SideQuest to bring this ecosystem to life. I actually have to reach back to them, but we are going to put this platform out. I think it will be sideloading first, but then we are going to work with a proper implementation of a full-fledged app store. And for professional users, we had so many questions about deployment. Like companies buying between 1 and 10 headsets, but they want to deploy suddenly 3,000, 4,000. This is something that is difficult with devices today. And we made sure that the Android Enterprise APIs are on the device. So it's not linked to Google, it's part of Android open source, but there are APIs on the device for enterprise management. So if you want to deploy in your own company devices like Lynx R1, it's going to be managed like a smartphone. You know, like when your company gives you a smartphone, it's managed by the IT service of your company, and we make sure that the major MDM are working. So you know, there are companies like Arbor XR or VMware, like very, you know, big companies doing that, and those are the one, you know, like customers of these companies are the one that are going to, that are already placing big orders for Lynx. So it's important for us as well, not like to take some time for also the business users, and you know, we had an order of 4,000 devices a few weeks ago. So it's, you know, people are really ready to deploy this, and with the demos we were able to give to some customers, I'm really happy with the feedback we have from the ecosystem. And you can check online or, you know, on Discord, people that try the device that I could see in some showrooms. I think the feedback is pretty positive. So that brings me to the next session, like the events. So we are going to be more and more involved in real life events, because COVID is over, because now it's, you know, World War III. So we can get back to some events. I was able to go to Barcelona this week for the Mobile World Congress. So I can also share you a picture, but that was a media roundtable with Qualcomm, and we were able to sit down with you know, media people, have an analyst, and so they could try the device. You know, you're going to see more and more coverage of that. We'll share more of that later. But we're getting back to events. The next one is going to be in Paris. Whoops, sorry. Yeah. So the next event is going to be in Paris. If you want to try the headsets, 17th, 18th of March. It's called Virtuality. It's in the center of Paris. Then there is another event in France as well in April called Laval Virtual. We'll have a huge booth there. Actually, it's when you enter the place, it will be like the first booth you see. So it's, you know, it's going to be interesting. So that was, you know, for the events. Let me continue now. To finish on the technical side with the software, sorry, but I think on day one the headset will probably have Android S and OpenXR, and we'll try to share two images. Like, I mean, we're going to share two versions of the OS. One is unlocked and one is locked for like production and, you know, consumer version. But if you're developers, you can always use a more open version of our software, and we'll share as much as we can. And that's great because, you know, sharing part of the code and sharing part of the implementation and plumbing we made, we already see some teams that have great ideas about how they are going to basically hack the device. So I'm really happy to trigger that, you know, to enable that basically. Same thing with the CAD files of the headset that we're going to share once production is completely locked. And yeah, it's I wanted to share that as well. All right, so now back to production and the company. So now it's a more serious and more overview of where Lynx is and the stage we are. So the product is feature complete. We don't need really anything more on the hardware, and we are at the production stage with Taiwan, with Compal. The thing is, there was as you might have heard, there was a war. There is a war going on, and I am going to share with you the impact it already has. So it's not a lot, but I have this responsibility to share that with you. Is that we did a Kickstarter in November, and that was for 1,200 devices. Okay, so when you build a product like Lynx, going to a manufacturer and say, hey, I want to build 1,000 devices, you don't really have a discussion here with these people. So this is why at the same time we took orders. We are taking PO, like product orders from companies, from businesses, and from people that didn't participate in the Kickstarter, and that amounts to a higher magnitude of quantities, like tens of thousands of devices, and so now we have this discussion with the OEMs in Taiwan that can build the device. So the delivery is scheduled first for the Kickstarter units and for some developers as well that are on the list where we want to partner with them to show some very good content and the promise of mixed reality and the Lynx ecosystem. It's really important. We are going also to work with Ultraleap to help some developers with like porting fees and all that, and make sure that there is a momentum here. But the orders are here. It's just that the war. So there is the money we got from the Kickstarter, and at the same time we had to also finance the orders, like an order magnitude bigger. And for that we started a fundraising effort that actually took a long time, and now we have very good people that joined this fundraising. Some of them that joined from the kind of videos you're watching there. So I'm really thankful for the community. But on the new investors that were supposed to come in the run we're currently working on, I'm not going to give you any names, of course, but I have to tell you that one investor was Russian, and one others was is Ukrainian. And not living in Ukraine, this guy is fine, but we had like very emotional discussions with them, and we had to stop working with the Russian investors. I think you understand for obvious reasons that it's not the best time to take money from Russia now, and it's so we need more time to try to find other people to come in this fundraising. But we have other candidates. We're already discussing with a lot of people. It's going pretty well. It's just that we had this discussion, and we lost some times because of the war. So it's very unfortunate. People have it much worse, that are actually on the battlefield, and I don't want to pity ourselves here, but it's just to tell you that it's very real. It impacts so many people. People are dying, but for the case of Lynx, it has a small impact on the delay of the fundraising. So we will take a bit more time to pay for the production in its entirety. So we might see some weeks of delays on the production, because first of the logistics that are, it's still ongoing. I can't give you a precise date yet, so it's really painful. Yeah. Anyway, I'm dedicating my energy to that with the team here. So we always find solution at Lynx, that. But it's really tricky. It's a very agitated time, really interesting. But we have a lot of energy around us, and people, they're seeing the orders, they're seeing the products, they're seeing the promise here. So it's I'm not really worried. It's just I have to share with you that it's not as easy as it looks, right? So we might see some delay. Hopefully not for the first units, but maybe for the mass production, it's going to take a bit more time. So that was where we are as a company. To be totally honest with you. So yeah, it's a bit rough, but it's not rough for me yet. It's rough for them, really. And I don't want to share too much and get it's just emotions. But you have to know these kind of things that are ongoing. So yeah, we're going to stop there, the update. I'm going to take questions now from you guys. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of questions. We are in the process of hiring as well, but you know, with the fundraising that is a bit delayed, you have to be indulgent with us. But you know, we're growing in the same direction as what we always intended. So yeah, so let's see your questions. I'm going to scroll now through the chat. Are they still shipping in April? So maybe that will. I think April is a bit aggressive with today's news. So you know, expect some delays, but it's a delay in weeks, not months. So you know, it's going to shift a little, but you know, I'll get back to you once we clear things out with both the fundraising and with the hardware manufacturer and the sourcing of some components. But yeah, as enterprise, can we do our own OTA updates for mass deployed devices? Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, to use the. So we have like one of my colleagues is working on a app that is going to be bundled with the system, a Lynx package where you will be able to update the headset over the air, and it can be linked. It's going to be linked to our API, like the Lynx servers, but it can also be linked to enterprise on-premise servers that they want to deploy their own versions. I hope Android S is pre-installed before release. Me too. This man just said he's happy to see his device hacked. I love him. Well, thanks. I'm really very happy, and some of you made some developers, some engineers laugh back there. Can you 3D swap between locked and unlocked software? Yeah. You can. You'll be able to. If you have a computer with USB-C, you'll be able to use your computer to flash both versions of the software. All right, you guys don't have too many questions today. That's great. Will we see any visuals that show what the internal software of the Lynx will look like? Yes. So we're building this infrastructure where you'll see like the website with the documentation. We have a lot to write. We have a lot of internal documentation, and you know, there is this thing where there are so many partners involved, especially like big companies like Qualcomm, but also Ultraleap. And we'll have this discussion with them, like what can we share, what kind of block diagrams you can see of the architecture that we are comfortable sharing with everyone. Please work with StereoKit, an open source 3D engine made specifically for VR. So guys, our goal is to do smart plumbing. So we're leveraging OpenXR here. So if you have third-party software that interface with OpenXR, then it should be pretty easily ported with Lynx. So Mike asked, when can early developers expect dev units to be available? So we're still working to ship. So I think there will be a phase where we are going to ship a few devices that are going to move around the world, like 1 week to one developers, then 1 week to another, then 2 weeks to a company or whatever. We'll share that with you. I hope it will happen in April. It's a moving target at this point, really, but we're expect something from us that, and we'll probably reach you by email, and if not, in April you can email us, say, hey guys, what's the status about all that, and we'll share that with you. Do you have Unity builds running on the Lynx? So all the demos you've ever seen on Lynx, they were built with Unity. So today Unity is the, like I would say, default engine. But as we make progress on OpenXR, we'll have Unreal compatible as well. I don't see any reasons why it shouldn't come by this summer, I think. But you know, if on day one you want to use a 3D engine, I would say go with Unity. Does the resolution of the camera permit to read properly a paper at hand distance? It's hard to answer that. I would say yes. You have to try the device to see that. We'll try to post videos of, you know, different distance of the same font size, but I don't think it's supposed to. We didn't build the device to do that. Yeah, I think you should. I know I can, when I'm working with Lynx, I can see my keyboard. I can see the letters on my keyboard from here, you know, like in terms of resolution. Will the lenses in the Lynx R1 burn the pixels in the screen? Well, no, but if you put the sun in front of it, maybe. To be honest, we haven't tested that. How can a developer get on your list? You can reach us by email, contact@lynxr.com, and you explain to us like what you have built, what you want to build. Share with us your projects, your software projects, and we'll have a discussion from there. What is the plan for 5G support? Guys, 5G. So we are, this year we're going to start an R&D effort with Qualcomm in France. They have a new lab for 5G. And by the time, you know, this year, the year after, and the year after that, all the new smartphones, like premium smartphones, are 5G compatible. So I expect people to have 5G in their pockets already, and we are going to optimize the Wi-Fi link between your smartphone that is going to act as the 5G antenna. We don't want to put 5G on someone's head for many reasons. Remember that every headset on the market right now, every headset in the few coming years are compromises. So you look at any headset, even the Lynx R1, especially Lynx R1, and we made a lot of compromises. And this is why there are so many devices, right? So devices are compromises today, and if we took the burden of 5G and put it on the headset, it would have added too much compromises. It will have added too much difficulties and complexity on the headset itself. The antenna design, the power requirements, it's not a great bet at the moment. So and 5G is already in everyone's pocket, you know, by the time Lynx R1 and then Lynx R2 will be on the market. So and the headset is not yet a primary device. I think it's going to act more like a companion device, much like a tablet or a smartwatch. You know, it's not so you'll always have your smartphone with you. The headset is not going to replace the smartphone. That's my view, but so we are going to leverage what's already in the smartphone, like for example 5G, and the headset will continue to have Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E in the future, and Bluetooth 5, and this connectivity that is easier to add and require less for the design of the headset. Okay. What is the resolution of the pass-through? So the resolution of the pass-through is the same as the resolution of the display, so 1600 by 1600. Actually, it's a bit less than that. It's 1600 by 1520 to be precise, with the camera sensor. For SteamVR compatibility on the Lynx, what kind of graphics limitation will be put in place to ensure that certain SteamVR games can be run? Will this be up to the game developers? I think that will be up to the developers. And you know, for now, I know that the computer will be the, you know, running the game and sending that to the headset. So the headset doesn't really act as a limitation factor here. It's more like the power and the bandwidth of your computer. Show us the French Lynx. I don't have it here, sorry. Are the controllers feature complete? No, not yet. They're not feature complete. I think we're going to ship the controllers after shipping the headsets. And you know, a funny story about the controllers. I mean, it's not funny, but before AWE, and you know, like before Kickstarter and all that, people will ask us every day about the controllers, and then some of those same people try a headset with the hand tracking, and suddenly they stop talking about controllers at all. So you still need controllers to play games. There's a lot of content that still requires controllers, and controllers are great for some interaction, some inputs here. I'm not dismissive about controllers. It's just that, you know, the hand tracking is really there. So it's a really great primary input source, very natural way to interact. So we're still putting some priority in the controllers, but they will come later this year, to be honest. Will the headset will be compatible with both Android and iOS phones? If it's a question for 5G, I expect they will be first compatible with Snapdragon chips, so more like Android phones. Could the Lynx please add an option to stereoscopic 3D support to normal 2D apps? Yes, and we're working on that. We had some pretty good technical lead from a friend. Any plans for official peripherals? Not yet. I can't talk about that yet. How many concurrent devices can be connected to Lynx through Bluetooth 5? I have no idea. The maximum number, I have no idea. Do you plan to sell the Lynx in other websites? Yeah, I think it will depend on the quantities, but yeah, I think we'll have. So we'll definitely have other distribution channels, depending on the countries where we are going to sell the device. So we are talking with local distributors in almost every country of this planet to be a relay for us in their countries. Will SteamVR support AMR and pass-through stuff? That's an ongoing discussion. Will SteamVR will be able to access the hand tracking? Yeah, I think so, yeah. On the Lynx side, what kind of latency is present in SteamVR content? So the latency we're seeing is between 30 and 40 milliseconds right now, but it's not optimized. And so, for example, this latency was so if you're looking at the Nati when he was playing Beat Saber and Alex, he had this kind of latency, and he didn't complain about the latency at all. So it's not lag, it's latency, so it arrives later in the headset, but he didn't feel sick at any point. But yeah, that's the kind of latency we're seeing. All right, so I think it's pretty good for today. Thank you very much, guys, for following the project. We're going to try to chapter this video. We are going also to have a written recap on the Kickstarter page that we're going to post that tomorrow or during the weekend, and we'll get back to you with updates. I know I don't post that much on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever. I'm still not used to all that, but we are going to share more and more. We are going to be present at more events, and as the production is ongoing and the fundraising successful, you are going to hear more and more about Lynx, that's for sure. Thank you, guys. So a few last question: will DRM content run on Lynx? Not sure about that. Sorry. Okay, all right. So thank you very much. See you around, and see you soon for some of the guys that we are seeing at the next events. And stay tuned. Look out for our YouTube channel, the Kickstarter page. and on Twitter and LinkedIn as well. All right, see you guys. Bye.